So it's recess time, you're hanging around your boys, you guys grabbed some lunch. Hopefully you didn't go to McDonald's or Burger King or something like that. You know, if you're gonna eat out of all the fast food restaurants, go for a pita or something like that, okay? You're hanging around, you're cracking jokes, you're back in school, right? Maybe there's 15 more minutes before you gotta go back, before recess ends, and you gotta fucking go back and listen to some boring ass teachers talk about some boring ass shit. And a beautiful, hot girl walks by, and everybody in the group gets really nervous. You can tell. Everybody gets nervous, right? And you have the audacious, the outrageous thought of maybe going up to the girl, introducing yourself, and asking her about her day, about her name. And just for a second, you have that outrageous thought. And then your body and your mind's like, no, like, oh my God, that's so scary, that's so scary. And as I'm sure is happening worldwide in all of the schools around the world and all the universities around the world, probably a lot of guys right now are having this battle and not going up to the girl that they maybe have a crush on or just happen to see and really just want to maybe have a conversation with. And it's because of that nervousness, right? Like, you're just, every time you see a hot girl, you just become a mess. Okay, two things I want to talk about here. The first thing first is excitement and nervousness are the same thing. They even produce the same adrenaline, the same hormonal response, stress response, the fight or flight. And simply by shifting a perspective and looking at it as I'm excited, I'm not nervous, I'm excited, and right away you have something positive, because now you can be like, oh my God, I'm excited, I'm about to do this, as opposed to, oh my God, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I can't do this, right? It's just that a little bit of change of mindset can take you a long way. And I remember when I did skydiving, you can go watch the video, just look up Saeed skydiving, I have a video for it. Maybe I'll post it up again on this channel, the skydiving video. Yes, good, I'll write it down as an idea after. So don't worry about it, you'll probably see it posted up soon. I told myself that. I told myself I was excited, and if you see in the video, I was like, like screaming in excitement. And I really enjoyed it, because I really looked at it as I'm excited, I'm not nervous. It made me want to do it with excitement. You can look at it the same way whenever there's a hot chick. Instead of saying I'm nervous, say I'm excited. She's nice. I like her life force. She's got a nice life force, right? So I like her manifestation of God, her corner of the universe, whatever. So that is good, the change in perspective. And you ain't gonna get rid of that excitement. You just ain't. If you do, then I don't know, then maybe you're not electromagnetic enough yourself. That excitement's always going to be there, and that's the beautiful thing about this whole dating thing. It's that excitement, it's that electricity. It's always going to be there, so you might as well just look at it as excitement. Now, there is something I want to talk about here, and it's a deeper thing that can make you more relaxed around all women. Doesn't matter if they're hot, if they're a 10 or a 1. And that's, the scale is another thing I want to talk about here. So, us men, we have been conditioned, I believe, to put the looks of a woman, the external beauty, the external look of a woman on a pedestal. And I really think the advertising companies and all the people and institutions who have an agenda in selling you something and telling you you're ugly, take this, buy this expensive thing so that you can be more beautiful, I really think they conned us into that. So we have this fake artificial beauty standard. It is more terrible for women than men. We are all victims of it. But, you know, we grow up with a certain beauty standard in our mind, and we kind of just put that on a pedestal. And unfortunately for the women, they have to keep up with all this bullshit, and they have to cake their faces with all kinds of powders and do all kinds of crazy things. And it's just like, it's media, right? It's all advertisement. It's people looking to push the products, looking to sell you something. So how can they sell you something if they tell you you're beautiful? They're gonna tell you you're ugly. So us men, we sort of put the external, and I think it has to do with genetics and evolution, blah, blah, blah. So it's not entirely that. There is a genetic sort of mechanical thing to it as well, right? Where we pay more attention to a woman's external appearance. So we've put that on a pedestal, and then we've sort of have this scaling system, right? Oh, she's a 10, she's a 9, she's an 8, she's a 7. And most of the times, 95% of the times, we're referring to a woman on that scale. We're just putting the external beauty. We're putting just her looks and giving it sort of a number scale. And it's kind of ridiculous, because then you're just kind of treating them like cars, I suppose, right? Like, you know, yeah, I like a Lamborghini is a 10, right? A Lamborghini is a 10. You know, a sunny, what was it? The Pontiac, the Sunny Fire or something? Sunfire, I don't know. It's a really shitty looking car. It's that's a 2, you know. A Honda Civic is like a 5, right? A Bugatti is like a 9, you know. It's like you're treating them like cars. You're treating them like objects. You're not seeing that there is in front of you a complex human being just like you and I. So whenever you have a Lamborghini, if we're looking at chicks now as a Lamborghini, whenever there's a Lamborghini passes you by, you get really nervous, because you're like, oh, holy shit, you put that Lamborghini on a pedestal, right? Holy shit, oh my God, right? You're not looking at the complexity, the human being, at the consciousness, at the soul that is driving this Lamborghini. Because you can't ignore, once you see a Lamborghini, like you see a hot chick with a nice body, and just like looks wow, like you can't ignore that. That's a Lamborghini. You can't ignore it. You know what I mean? You can't ignore it. It's a Lamborghini. But you gotta look at the person, at the complexity of the consciousness of the soul that is driving this Lamborghini. Simple as that. You can't be deceived by the Lamborghini. You can't be deceived by the car, by the vehicle. You gotta look at the driver of the vehicle. And this is really where the really deep paradigm shift can be made. Is instead of looking at the car, look at the driver of the car, and you'll soon come to realize the driver of the car is very complex, and the driver of the car is driving this car, and he's got her own shit to deal with, her own lessons in this life, traumas, past life traumas, soul lessons, you know. So you start to really see the complexity of the human being that is in front of you. You just look at this beautiful woman as a human being, a complex human being. And just being a human being is very complex. That on its own, being a human being is complex. You can start to see that this human being has insecurities, has fears, has dreams, has hopes, has aspirations, has a family, has parents, was once a little child. If you can actually start to look at these hot girls that really make you nervous as little girls, like if you can just like picture them as little girls, you'll be like, oh my God, you know, like, oh, you were a little girl, you know, because right away you see a really hot chick, you don't think about anything, you just think, oh my God, unattainable, right away, unattainable, oh, too hot, I'm too nervous, right? But once you see through this human being in front of you, past, future, and present, if you even imagine this girl in front of you as like an old lady, like an 80-year-old lady, you know, then you realize she's just a human being, just having an experience of life. And right now she happens to look really, really beautiful, and I dig, you know, you admire that. You know, you admire that, but it no longer makes you nervous in that way, because you're not so fixated on the car. You're more interested in seeing who's driving this beautiful car. You know, I'm not saying you don't admire the beautiful car. I'm saying no, that you might really like the car and you really want to get to know the driver behind the car. And that's really what it is. I mean, really, you're looking at a complicated creature in front of you. So you can start to see that this girl in front of you that looks absolutely angel, absolutely perfect, has to do the same human shit that you have to do. She's gotta eat. She's gotta absorb nutrients and eliminate waste, which means she's gotta urinate. She's gotta take a shit. Okay, I think there's a book called Everybody Poops or something, right? I gotta read that book. I gotta pick it up. You guys know how obsessed I am with shitting and how assholes, and how I think that really can unite all of humanity. And it's the oneness Christ consciousness when you think about it, right? I mean, she takes a shit. And once you think, oh, this beautiful, perfect angel has to take a shit, has to go on the toilet every day, just like you and I. Just like you and I and everybody else. She's got to sit down and she's got to fucking take a dump. And if she hasn't been eating good food, which, I mean, if she's young, if this girl is like, you know, young, chances are most young people eat shitty food, then her shit's gonna fucking stink really bad. Really, really fucking bad. Now, you don't want to go too much, imagine this kind of stuff, right? But you see what I'm saying? You humanize the girl, essentially. And believe me, one of the quickest way to humanize anybody is just imagine them taking a shit. Right there and then, see? Right there and then, you stop taking yourself seriously, stop taking her so seriously, because you realize, oh fuck, we're just these humans and we gotta take a shit. Hey, let's face the facts, all of us have to take a shit. So, what I'm trying to say here is humanize the woman. Humanize all women. So then you won't be so fixated on the appearance of the woman. You know, you still gotta be attracted to the appearance, of course, right? But again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some people like certain cars better than other cars. They like the way certain cars look better than the way certain other cars look, right? So really, you won't be so fixated on the physical appearance, the outward. You can kind of look inwards here. You can start to see the driver. And the more you humanize the woman, the more you realize, like, yeah, like, she's probably just like everyone else, has fears and insecurities. And you'll find, like, a lot of hot girls, you know, maybe they're not so insecure about the way they look. Some of them really are, because that's literally all their worth in their own mind as far as society goes. I'm not saying all girls, I'm saying I've met some really hot chicks that really had their shit together on the inside. I'm not saying like that, but you'll see with some hot girls, like, because they grow up thinking all it is just my physical appearance, you'll see that they're really insecure about a lot of things. Their appearance being the number one, because in the girl's mind, if her hair is a little bit off, or her makeup is a little bit off today, or she's ate a little bit too much yesterday and she's bloated, right? She feels fat. She feels like a fat girl right now, even though she probably isn't, but that's in her mind. Right there and then her entire day is ruined. Entire day is ruined because she depends so much on her physical appearance. And then you'll find out that there's other insecurities too, like maybe paying your bills, hello, being a fucking human being and having to face death, you know, being mortal being, having to face death at some point, existential crisis. You'll realize, like, hold on, I'm looking at myself here. I'm looking at another human being just like me. Just like me. And then, you know, it doesn't make you nervous anymore because you just go and talk to her like a human being. You know, like, oh, you're a human being. Yeah, you look really beautiful. So you're a human being. And you'll see this, most hot girls don't want you to put them on a pedestal because they want to be themselves. They want to be themselves. They don't want you to worship them, put them on a pedestal. Most of them don't. Because they want to be themselves. You know, they want to be able to be themselves. Right? And by just treating them like a human being and looking at the human in them, you'll realize that. And then you'll see that, okay, this is a human being that has a storyline, right? She has parents, has a family, has siblings, you know, has a job, has a dream, maybe working on something in the future. Just like you, you'll realize that I'm looking at myself here. It's just I'm a masculine expression of the universe. You're a feminine expression of the universe. And so because of that, we're a little bit different. You know, we're a little bit different. I tend to like certain things more masculine type activities. You're more feminine, you know, you tend to like more feminine type activities, you know. Okay, you know, you embrace those differences. But you realize, for the most part, you're both the same. You're both mortal beings. You're both gonna fucking die. You are both little children, little kids. You're both gonna age, and you are both teenagers and kids at some point. You're both spiritual beings having a human experience. You gotta take a shit. She gotta take a shit. You gotta take a piss. She gotta take a piss. You gotta drink water. She gotta drink water. You gotta eat food. She gotta eat food. She has a family. You have a family. She came popping into this dimension on a vagina. You came popping into this dimension sliding on a vagina. She's looking to survive and pay her bills and perhaps more. You're looking to do the same thing. She maybe wants to do something with her life, has some dreams that she wants to do, some goals, some career goals, and you have some career goals. You have some dreams to accomplish. Holy shit, I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at another human being. And if you can make that paradigm shift, if you can make that happen in your mind, if you can start to see everybody that way, that's the ultimate goal, is to see everybody that way. Then you won't be so fixated on that whole, you're an 8, you're a 7, you're a 10, the looks, the appearance, and you won't be so nervous. Then you'll recognize when there's a hot girl, you'll recognize the excitement, the acknowledgement, but there won't be no nervousness. You'll be able to go and step and say, hey, how's it going? You know, you don't have to be, you might not be totally relaxed. There's that excitement, you know, it's an exciting new person, but you'll be human and it'll show in your conversations because you'll be so easily able to talk to her because you treat her like a human. Hey, how's your day? Where are you coming from? Oh, I was working. What are you working? Oh, I do this, this, and this. And you kind of relate on a human level because, you know, you understand that she's a human being. She's either at work or at school or something. Then you have like regular human conversations. And from there on, you can build attraction, you can build trust, you can build comfort. Because that's what it's all about. We're human beings and we just gotta be able to give each other the environment to be totally authentic and totally be ourselves. Embrace our humanness, embrace our divinity as divine, spiritual beings having human experience. And that's it. Life is good from there, okay? So, hopefully this helps you guys. That's about it, guys. God bless you all. I love every single one of you guys. But don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.